Papa Ka Credit Score. What was the whole story behind this campaign and how is it enabling the spreading of awareness about CIBIL score?
Of course, it's not just emotionally but also financially by simply being aware of one's credit score.
Kavita, we live in this AI world today and I'm sure you would be driving a lot of campaigns that leverage AI today.
Even educating them on having a good CIBIL credit score, all of this which is aimed towards making our consumers far more responsible when it comes to managing credit. We were able to use a modern day financial concept into a timeless message, which is low credit score can't buy anything at all.
Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to explore how marketing is enabling financial habits and driving a meaningful change. In this digital era, taking loan is much easier and taking a financial decision is critical and complex. At the same time, marketers are building emotional messaging with the right balance of practical messaging. To discuss this more, we have our special guest today, Ms. Kavita Jagtiani, Chief Marketing Officer, L&T Finance. Hi Kavita, welcome to our podcast.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Kavita, we all know L&T Finance has been a very well-known brand in the financial space, and we all have witnessed a lot of meaningful campaigns that you and your team have been driving. One such meaningful campaign, which is a very emotional balance of storytelling and a practical messaging, is Papa Ka Credit Score. That struck my mind right now, right? So can you just help us understand what was the whole story behind this campaign and how is it enabling the spreading of awareness about CIBIL score?
It's a wonderful question. So, the campaign that we launched, which is Papa Ka Credit Score, is essentially a story of gratitude. So it stemmed from a very simple yet universal truth, which is fathers, especially in our country, go through a lot of silent sacrifices and they don't really ask for a credit for all that they have done. So we flipped the narrative and we asked this question, would you like to give them a score? And of course, this is not a financial score, but an emotional score. So we launched this campaign with a set of influencers who very playfully gave a credit score greater than 900, and of course that's an emotional one, and it generated a lot of curiosity and intrigue amongst the audience as to how the score could be that high. But at the same time, we were able to prompt our users to find out about their own financial credit score and the importance of having a good score for one's financial well-being. The campaign was kept very interactive, and we had users who were engaged and were asked to share the scores along with the emotional stories behind it. We also gamified the landing page, and we had a set of quiz questions for them to answer before they arrive at the due credit score. Of course, we capped it up with an emotional film honoring fathers. So all in all, I think we were able to convert or rather use a modern day financial concept into a timeless message, which is give credit where it's due. And of course, it's not just emotionally, but also financially by simply being aware of one's credit score. We got a good traction to the campaign, so we had a reach of over 12 million and high levels of engagement, as well as views which were more than 7 million views.
Thanks, Kavita. I think that's a wonderful example of how you balance the emotion part of the campaign and the education. Moving on to my next question, in this world of AI, what are the innovations that you would be driving in terms of your campaign to get more new to credit customers, and in a very simple language we say the first time borrowers?
Wonderful. Well, what I think is that in the traditional era or the traditional way, lending has been based on a very narrow set of data. So, it's primarily the credit behavior of an individual. And those who are new to credit are practically invisible to the lenders. And that's where I think technology can make a lot of difference. With technology, it has almost shattered the old model. And with the interventions now, we are able to see a far more richer and, a far more nuanced picture of the customer. We are actually able to see the patterns at an individual level, and for underwriting especially. And that has made underwriting a lot more nuanced than what it was before. But however, one must say that the algorithms have to be written or updated over a period of time for it to stay relevant. So the work that we've done in that direction is to launch what we call Project Cyclops. And the name has rightfully been coined by our MD Sudipta. And the name comes from the one-eyed mythical creature who knows it all. So what this Project Cyclops does is that it is an advanced credit engine which is used for the credit risk assessment and automated decision making. It's the first of its kind three-dimensional credit engine. It uses artificial intelligence and machine learning. And its first dimension is all about the liabilities data. The second dimension is the credit data. And the third dimension, which I think is a differentiator, is the trust signals. Now, what are these trust signals? They are essentially statistically validated data points, which are, collected from different sources of data, be it the payment gateway, transaction data, geolocation intelligence, as well as the satellite images for the AI model to accurately score the risk at an individual level. And of course, we've seen significant benefits of executing that. So in the two-wheeler business where we've executed the Project Cyclops, we're now able to service a far larger demographic. And our new to credit customers has also gone up. So the contribution has now increased to about 35 to 40%. And I also believe that it's a great step towards financial inclusion, because the two-wheeler loans is essentially a first stage loan product. The model is also omni-product, so it can be deployed for other lines of businesses too, and that work is underway. So moving from the urban to the rural side of the business, we do have a good presence in the microfinance business too. And there, an innovation worth mentioning, the lifestyle index calculator. Now, this is a tool that revolutionizes the way data is collected by our field officers. So when our field officers visit the customers and they take a visual of the customer and his house, of course with their consent, it's the algorithm in the tool which is able to classify the residential dwelling, whether it's a kacha house or a pakka house, what are the kind of electrical connections in the house, or what is the presence of white goods in the house. And all of these rich insights help us to arrive at the standard of living index. And this index, when it's integrated with our underwriting process, helps us in the right decisioning for our micro loan against property for our rural customers. So I think with some of these use cases and many more that we have deployed, I think we've taken significant strides in positively impacting the credit environment.
I think that's a very thoughtful approach at L&T Finance. Thanks, Kavita, for sharing such meaningful responses and insights. Building on the same segment of rural, let's focus on the literacy programs. We believe L&T Finance has been driving a large-scale programs of education and financial literacy, especially in the rural and the youth segment, right? So can you just help us understand more on what kind of campaigns that are driven, initiatives that you would be driving to especially drive the awareness more on the CIBIL score and the credit health?
Sure. So, well, we use a variety of content formats, and we also very effectively use our mascot called Sachet Kumar. And this mascot is used to, engage content in social media, especially to make serious topics like loan frauds or personal loan scams lot less intimidating for our customers. Through again our mascot, we release content, especially the watch outs and the do's and don'ts, right from the stage of loan application to disbursement, so that we give them the relevant knowledge. Also, I think our mascot, of course, is very efficiently put to use in local languages across all forms of media, and all the content is encapsulated in a campaign hashtag, which we call Jankar Baniye Savdhan Rahiye. And you'll see a lot of content out there in social media. But beyond just financial awareness, our attempt or our endeavor is also drive financial independence. And in that direction, we work on a lot of financial literacy initiatives at a grassroots level. And again, here it's worth mentioning our flagship program called Digital Sakhis. Now, these are digital Sakhis who again impart digital financial literacy and empowerment with sustainability for rural women. And this is a program that's running since years. And the kind of education that is imparted to women is all around mobile banking, how do you simplify payments through online, managing accounts, etc. Well, since its inception in 2017, the digital Sakhis, which till date are about 2,000 plus women, have positively benefited the lives of over 57 lakh individuals. So that is work that we do amongst rural women. I think moving on to another user set, which is really important, is the Gen Zs or the youth. And again, their relevant or personalized content, which helps them to improve their understanding of finances. And our program actually converts the complex financial concepts into very practical, easy advice. We also make sure that there are very relevant analogies in local languages that are used to seed relevant content, which is, paying their EMIs on time, penalties or late charges, or even educating them on having a good CIBIL credit score. All of this, which is aimed towards, making our consumers far more responsible when it comes to managing credit. But at the end of the day, I think it's all about the ecosystem. And I think there again, designing that ecosystem that enables this is also work that we've been doing. So, it's, let's say, our 3.0 website, which is very dynamic and interactive, has a whole host of features. Also, our Planet app, which is, again, very intuitive. It has a lot of information which is value added. So for example, there are marketplaces for two-wheelers or farm finance. There's also mandi prices for a very diverse set of user group that we have. So I think it's just redefined the way customers interact with credit or finance.
Thanks, Kavita. I think that's very, very inspiring, and especially having that hyper-local context and inclusivity with women involvement in that really makes a lot of difference. Moving on to my next question. Kavita, we live in this AI world today, and I'm sure you would be driving a lot of campaigns that leverage AI today. So what are the key innovations that you leverage to drive the credit behavior enhancement for the consumers?
Well, there are several use cases for Gen AI in impacting credit behavior. And one great example is what we launched, knowledgeable AI called Kai. And we launched that last year. And it's essentially a reimagined chatbot powered by large language models and retrieval augment generation. It is currently being deployed for our home loan category, where it helps users navigate through a lot of intricacies around any query for home loans. And it is extremely adaptable, versatile, and accessible. It can converse via text in multiple languages, be it English, Hindi, or English, and the users can interact with it in a very natural way, and it's very different from any of the chatbots which are prevalent today, because what it does is that it has user interface which integrates a conversational engine that is capable of conversing the way humans do, and is extremely therefore natural. We've seen good traction, with the use of Kai in our communication. Though right now it is just a text enabled, but I think the future is all about multimodal conversational experiences. So as we go forward, the idea is to also integrate other forms of communication, be it voice or visuals, etc. As we go forward. Now, the other use case is also the use of AI in service bots for customer relationship management that we've executed. So especially for our personal loan business, there's a lot of outbound calling that is done by our service agents for collections. And as we all know, while it is resource intensive, it's also limited by the human capacity. And that's where I think very superior voice bots, which are enabled by Gen AI, can make a lot of difference. And that's what we've executed for especially the personal loan business. The good part about these, voice-enabled chatbots is that it is firstly driving a very optimal experience for the customers, and it can switch languages. So if the customer is speaking in English, it will converse in English or Hindi, depending on what language the customer is speaking in, and it ensures there's 100% script adherence. It's extremely empathetic, and it converses the way humans do. And we've seen good traction, and it's been able to automate the past due collections for us. What I also believe is that it's not just helping us to drive efficiency, but also can be deployed in unforeseen circumstances. So, for example, a great example here is that on 15th August, of course, the call center was shut because of the holiday, and that's the time we deployed these voice-enabled Gen AI bots, and they were able to do the collections in an uninterrupted way, and we were able to see good results that came about. So I think these are some of the examples where Gen AI has made a lot of difference for us. But I must call out here that we've taken significant steps in that direction, and we also have our own platform called Raise, which is the India's first premier event where we house the best of the AI minds, tech evangelists, and it's happening in the second edition this year in November. And the theme is all around accelerating financial services with AI.
Wow, that's a great example of how digital personalized tools can actually drive a real change in the credit behavior. That brings us to the last question, Kavita. Today, there are many first-time borrowers who want to opt for a good credit, access, but they don't know where to go, and they are lack of some guidance. If you were to guide these people, these consumers, what would be the 3-step mantra that you would advise them to ensure that while they borrow wisely, but they also ensure maintaining a good CIBIL score?
Well, to begin with, I think I would say that, one's credit score is like one's financial reputation. It is something that, one treats as an asset and consciously builds it through efforts, as we move forward. I also equated a lot to one's personal reputation, and as professionals, we, build our reputation by consistently following through our commitments and nurturing that. So I think likewise, it's also important to build one's financial reputation by maintaining, of course, a good credit score. Some of the, let's say, tips that I would recommend is that start small but show consistency. So depending on the life stage that one is in, ensure that you have a smaller credit and then work your way through it by ensuring that the repayment is on time, and then keep building your way up. So that, I think, is a great way to make a start. I also believe that in the current context or the current environment, it's important to also diversify one's credit. So therefore, ensuring that you have multiple lines of credit that are managed responsibly. So be it, let's say, a vehicle loan or credit card with a higher limit, but multiple lines so that you're able to display a better credit behavior is also what I think is important. And finally, a mantra that I believe is a very common saying which one can use with a twist is that while money can't buy happiness, low credit score can't buy anything at all.
Wow, that's a clear, actionable plan for the NTCs, as we say. Wrapping up today's episode, we explored how marketing is driving an empowerment to the end user and driving this confidence in the financial economy. From blending emotional stories with the practical examples, marketers are today enabling not only the access to credit, but they are helping the consumers to understand and manage the credit health better. At TransUnionCIBIL, we encourage you to opt for your free credit report from CIBIL.com or CIBIL app and be aware of your credit history and CIBIL score. Thank you, and that was our initiative to help you know your CIBIL.